I need a drink of water already.
Oh yeah. I bring my tea.
My water looks horrible, but it's got lemon in it. That's why.
Oh, okay. My teacup looks boring, but that's because it's for left-handed people, I guess. It's not boring, but it's
Oh,
cute.
cute. What kind of tea do you have? It looks very red.
Rooibos.
Oh, you've got some rooibos.
Yeah. I'm I I'm I'm like I'm on a new kick since because when I just got back from Ohio
Mm-hmm.
and that like all my routines and everything just killed, like all that I
Oh, I
built,
know.
my empire of routines. But so when that happens, when that happens, I come back. I'm like, oh well, maybe I can have a reset. So I decided
Mm-hmm.
that I'm gonna get up early for like I'm just gonna see. I'm just gonna wake up with the sun. So I got up at 6:30 this morning. And so in order to make that happen, that means like probably no like tea or coffee afternoon. So I'm drinking rooibos. So
Right.
usually I drink rooibos after I drink my nightly. Well, I don't do nightly wine anymore, but in lieu of my nightly wine or
Right.
after sometimes wine. Yeah, but I
That's a
love
good
it.
routine. I mean, I would love to sleep until 6:30. How do you do that?
Oh my god, you are
I woke up at 4 this morning.
wow.
Yeah,
Gosh,
I have never been able to sleep in. Like everybody knows this. So my
really?
children growing up, if the bedroom door was closed, they did
Yeah.
not bother mom because first of all, they knew that she didn't sleep last night, and if she's sleeping, they let me sleep. But I mean, I never have been able to I would love
Yeah.
to sleep in. Like that's a
Wow.
dream.
You're like Michael. Michael is like that too. I have been sleeping until 9.
Oh dear Lord, how do
But
you do that?
but I was going to bed at like 1 or 2.
Oh, well
Yeah.
yeah. But the
Yeah.
thing is it doesn't matter what time I go to bed, I'll still wake up early.
That's my husband, same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just kind of exercise a lot today and like
Uh-huh.
I'm telling myself to go to bed, before midnight. It's not enough sleep, but I'm hoping that eventually will be so tired out then I'll start going to bed at like 11 or 10, you know.
I think
But
I was in bed at 8:30 last
oh, well that's why you can't.
No, it's not. Like I said, it doesn't matter what time I go to bed.
Yeah.
But last night, I just think it's so hilarious. You're like, maybe I can, get to bed by 11. And I'm like, I don't know that I can stay up and wake till 11, but
I know.
we're
Well,
so opposite.
when I
Oh,
have gone to sleep at 8:30, I am literally up in the middle of the night.
right,
Because I mean, no matter what, I get 7 or 8 hours of sleep.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Not more,
Yeah,
like, I don't, really unless I'm sick, that's the only time I want to sleep more.
right, right. So I mean, that makes sense. I mean, like I I've I've struggled with insomnia since I had my children. Since I gave birth to my sons, I have struggled with insomnia and I've always been a really light sleeper. So
Yeah.
it's just something that I'm dealing with, but I'm actually we when you had made those notes about what we would talk about and you were
Yeah.
talking about, menopause and stuff and
Mhm.
remember what you said? It's just like HRT free.
Oh,
And I'm like,
yeah.
sorry, I'm
Well,
not HRT free. I just started taking them a couple of weeks
yeah.
ago. But I'm taking progesterone. It's supposed to help
Have you
with your
noticed any difference, any changes?
it's supposed to take a few months before you really start
Oh,
noting
okay.
changes.
Yeah.
I guess what it did for me right away is it just kind of elevated my hope level a little bit because I've been feeling really
Oh,
frustrated and hopeless, not knowing what to do because I've been such a
yeah.
self-healer and self-learner and how do I do this? And this menopause thing just kind of threw me for a loop,
Yeah.
but not in areas that most typical people know or what people typically know about menopause. Like I don't get sweats. I don't get hot flashes.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all the
But
flaxseed you eat.
yeah, it's all the flaxseed I eat.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah.
truly helps, like tofu, flaxseed, sweet potatoes. I mean, like, if I eat a lot of those, I don't have any issues in terms of night sweats, hot flashes. I don't really have
Right.
much issue anymore. I don't really have I mean, I'm 52, but I was menop I went through menopause by 50
Right.
and I think it's just the whole food plant-based or mostly. I mean, even though I wasn't
Yeah.
full on vegan back then, I was still mostly plant-based and
Yeah.
I have been the whole time.
Yeah.
I eat way more tofu now though. I eat like
Right.
lots of tofu now and soy milk because I know that it's just like nature's HRT.
Right, yeah, and see,
Kind
and
of.
I can't stomach it, like, I can't
Yeah.
do the soy, but I do a lot of flaxseed. I eat sweet potatoes or yams every day,
Yeah.
and, there's other things that you do, right? Like, just taking care of yourself the best of your ability, and then sometimes you need some extra help, and so I went to the
Yeah.
natural path, and that's where, she's helped me with,
So I
hormonal
know
stuff.
that's not what this episode's about, but we're
No.
going to be talking about diet and body image journeys. But we're just in the chat session, and we will,
Yeah, we're just in the chat.
and we're going to talk about this very topic in a later episode.
So let's
We
just move
already
on
have
from
it
this.
planned. Well, we no, we can still talk a little bit about it, but I just want to let people know
Just let
that
everybody know
we
who's
are
tuning
going to
in.
get we are going to
We
get
are
into
going to
the
get
body
into the
image.
yes,
Yeah,
which
and
is good.
I'm still curious. Are you a bioidentical? What kind of what is it?
Bioidentical. And
Bio
then and
okay.
so the estrogen compound, like it's yeah, is I put it on my forearm and so I rub it with my like
Oh,
this because you
okay.
don't want to get it on your hands and then touch everything and then have your husband, get all hormonal on you too. And
Oh,
And then
that's
so I do that in the morning. I put my estrogen on
yeah,
in the morning.
yeah.
Today is my one day. It's 6 days on, one day off. Thursdays are
Oh,
my day off. And then I take just one little pill, a very low dosage of progesterone at night. So she's put me on low dosage of everything right now, just to kind of see how my body responds and how everything kind of works. And then we're
yeah.
revisiting after a month of that. So
Okay.
I honestly
Yeah.
never, ever, ever. I swore I would never do this. I swore I would never, ever
Yeah.
do any kind of hormone therapy. But I went to other natural health
Mhm.
and, like providers, and
Yeah.
I talked to a doctor who blatantly, like, I don't have a family doctor here in Canada. It's really hard. Hi,
Hi,
Meredith.
Meredith.
Hard. It's really hard here in Canada. Well, at least here in BC to find a GP, like find a
Yeah.
general practitioner,
Oh,
a family
really?
doctor. Oh, it's impossible. And so you have to go to walk-in clinics. I went to a walk-in clinic and I got this male doctor and I told him all of my symptoms. I told him what my struggles were. I
Sorry.
told him my stress, like because my son's wedding was coming up, I'd put on all this weight. I was not feeling myself, blah, 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 blah. And he says, I refuse to I refuse to check your hormone levels. Oh, but I don't want you to suffer.
Why did he
And I'm like,
refuse to
so what do you want to do for me? Basically nothing.
why did he
He would do nothing.
refuse? Why did
He
he
just says, I
refuse?
refuse.
Why?
Part he wouldn't he's just like I, like he didn't really give an answer. Like he was just like kind of gaslighting and sidestepping the entire time. And I was so frustrated that I'm just like, screw it.
That's
And the thing
awful.
is here in Canada,
Mhm.
our general practitioners, our family doctors are gatekeepers,
You're right. Right.
right? They have to make a referral to a specialist
It's
in
the
order
same
for me to
here.
see a specialist.
I mean, I think
But
it's changed, but it was like
can
that,
you
yeah.
pay though to go and see a specialist on your own without having the doctor gatekeeping you?
We used to not be able to. I think that we can now, though. I think something with Obamacare changed that. But
Right.
I, like, rarely go see the doctor, so
Exactly. And that's what
yeah.
my problem was. It's like he asked me when my last visit was. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I
Yeah.
honestly can't remember, like, that was a year ago that I went and saw him, and before that, I don't know. And don't
Yeah,
jump on me about all the other
I
healthcare
know.
stuff about
Yeah, we're like
just like we're this is the way we do it, okay?
yeah. And
I'm
you know,
healthy, I'm happy.
and there's a lot, I mean, there's a lot of evidence towards maybe not doing certain things that everybody says you have to do. I'm not gonna
I
go into
I
it, but
I
there's actually
agree.
real scientific evidence, like when they look at who lives longer, or if you look at it from a longevity point of view, like
Mhm.
does it affect all-cause mortality? Does it affect length of life? And a lot of things don't. I won't get
Don't.
into them. I won't, because 'cause I'm not a doctor, it's not my
Exactly, and we're not giving any kind of, medical suggestions or anything. We're just talking about we do us. This is what we do for us. You
yeah.
can come at me if you want, but you're not going to change my
Yeah,
mind. I'm doing this for
yeah,
me, you know.
and
And
I
I do
do
my
look
research and I take care of myself and like we both do. And that's why we're
mhm.
going that's why we're talking about this today.
Yeah, I mean,
You
we're not
know.
QAnon. We're not like QAnon.
No.
We're nothing like that. It's just I do a lot of research, and, I don't wanna sound like I'm a fangirl, but
You just cut out.
site called nutritionfacts.org, and it's basically a tons and tons of research, meta-analyses, all of whatever's going on, you
Right?
know, and they analyze it all, and they're like finding that, you know, this is not really what it seemed like, this is not working, or this is really working really well. Like, maybe you should eat more of this food and less of this food, or
Interesting.
maybe you don't need these exams. Maybe these exams are causing more
Mhm.
problems than they're solving, things like that.
Booking. We're
Okay.
not telling you what to do. We're just telling you
Oh,
what we
yeah.
do.
So,
What was our
okay,
topic today?
the topic of today, we're just chatting right now, and we're close to the 15-minute point where we're supposed to stop chatting, and we're talking about our our diet and body image journeys, basically. So, just diet culture, how kind of we've handled, like, the different phases about our bodies, how it has evolved, right? And now that we are wise women
Exactly.
and we know better, has become wiser too. Like, young women are realizing things that we didn't realize, and we're gleaning their wisdom as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks,
Absolutely.
Gen Z, and so
Oh,
bye
just
bye,
ignore
bye
him,
bye.
Meredith. That's what they're looking for.
Oh, oh God, yeah. I don't know. So who's that guy? Okay. Ooh.
Oh, what was this? I
uh,
remember a movie with Jack Nicholson about witches. A
oh,
movie with Jack
yeah.
Nicholson about
Yes. That was with um Duck Lips, Michelle Pfeiffer
Pfeiffer.
and Cher? Was it Cher and Susan Sarandon, or I don't know.
What was that one? It's not
Witches of
Plastic Woman. I
Eastwick?
love That's it.
Witches of
Witches of
Eastwick.
Eastwick. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it. Oh,
yeah,
yeah, that was good. Oh, I want to watch that one
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm
So,
adjusting. I
that's
have a
it.
hot water bottle here. It's not really hot, but it's just
Oh,
keeping me a little bit warm.
that's
So
so
I'm fiddling with
non-American.
its kind
That's,
of
like, so
kind of thing.
British. So British.
I'm in British Columbia, so
I Okay, so that was a good segue, because Hamza was trying to, whatever his name is, he wants our power to be in our youth and our beauty, because I imagine that's a way that he feels like more in control. of of us, I guess.
I guess.
Something
I
like that.
don't know.
So
Which is just, I mean,
is that a good segue? I mean,
yeah, it is a good
'cause
segue. I mean, it's kind of funny though. I mean, let's be honest.
yeah,
It's like
it is funny,
trying
but
it's just like, oh, honey, you're going to have to try harder than that to get to us.
I know.
We've lived
Yeah,
too
'cause
long.
we've lived too long. We're a bunch of old ladies blabbing, and,
Exactly.
and
Yep. Blah, blah,
here,
blah.
blah, 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 you
Yeah.
don't have to listen. We're actually happy not to host you. Um
Exactly. You're more than happy to move on.
so
Anyways, let's get into
so
our topics.
okay, so I have a question for you.
Yes.
And I well, I haven't told anybody what we do, have I? Okay, hello. Welcome to
Hi.
Unfiltered After 50. And we LeAnne and I, we just like to chat about things that are important to us as we get older, and now that we don't really give a lot of
Those.
those. um you know we don't we're unfiltered. We're not afraid to talk about the things that we were previously afraid to talk about, and I really think that we just women need to be talking more about things. So I'm a little flustered today, so I'm having some issues, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
What's
I'm
flustering you, friend?
I'm getting too hyper. I'm
Okay.
talking too fast. I'm getting too
Just take a nice
excited.
deep breath together.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We're not in any hurry.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so I have a question. Are you
Yes,
ready?
I am.
So, at what age did you first become aware of the appearance of your body? Like, in terms of sort of evaluating it, or
Oh, yeah, maybe. Sorry, I was just reading what
Meredith said, and learning English and just improve my listening skills.
I like that. That's all awesome.
Yeah,
Good sense of humor.
good sense of
Okay.
humor.
I
Yeah.
would say it started in grade 6.
Grade 6.
So, yeah,
Pretty
so
specific, yeah.
yeah, because that's when I started getting teased
Mhm.
about
Yeah.
my shape, and then it really escalated into grade 7 and junior high. And that's when I became so grade 6, grade 7, right in that age when I became very aware of my body changes and everything,
Yeah.
and I kind of poof, like my hips went poof, and my
Yeah.
thighs went poof.
Yeah.
My boobs did not. so so I felt
Oh,
like,
don't mind you.
yeah, I
Yeah.
did. My breasts took a long time to really actually show themselves to their full extent, which was really nothing. Um, so yeah, so it was grade 6, grade 7 that I became aware of my body. And that is exactly when in grade 7 is when I started my very first diet.
Oh,
When I
okay.
was
Well,
12, 13.
so what was your what kind of diet? Do you remember? What
Yeah,
was it?
It was a Scarsdale diet.
Oh, Scarsdale. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, and I don't even know where I got the book or where I got the
Yeah.
idea or anything. Um, they they suggested a food diet and everything, and so I went and I asked my mom if she would buy me yogurt and if she would buy me cottage cheese um and stuff, and she did.
Yeah.
And this when I wrote about this in my blog, this specific story, it
Yeah.
really upset my mom. And she got really upset and my dad got very angry with me when I
Really?
told this story because what it said to me is when my mom went and got me those food items, that she agreed with me that I needed to lose weight.
Right. Mhm.
And that is just, I know my mom was not saying that, but
Yeah.
in my little psyche, in my little mind, that's what she was saying. And so, and my sister and my mom, which I was the baby in the family, my sister and my mom were smaller than me. My mom was
Mhm.
at that time. She was very tiny. My sister was smaller. And so I was the biggest girl in the family,
Mhm.
right? And then on top of being teased by the boys at school, I was just, I wanted to be smaller. I mean, technically I wanted to just disappear, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when I first became aware of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
So
about
how
you? Sorry.
um oh, I was so it was kind of right before I went through puberty. I went through puberty when I was 11. So that was around 5th grade. And so it was around 4th grade. I think it was like 9 or 10. And I went to the doctor and I was weighed. And I remember weighing like 120 pounds. And I probably was like 5'7", maybe.
Wow.
So it was
It
probably
grade
not
4,
so
grade
good.
5?
I was tall. I was
That's
really
that's very tall for that age.
maybe I was I was about 9, 10. Maybe I was shorter. Maybe this is why I was, but the doctor thought that I was gaining too much weight. And so we had my family, my dad, because I was a lot raised by my dad. He had that talk with me that, I needed to watch my weight. And so that made me really self-conscious.
Of
I
course,
became
yeah.
really aware of that. But like thinking about it, the problem was not my appetite. Like it was all blamed on my appetite. I was just a preteen, not even a preteen. I was an adolescent, and the problem was the food. Everything was ultra processed. Everything was like frozen, or just it was just a very crazy standard American diet, and I
Mhm.
didn't have like access to a
Right.
lot of food that was not so calorie dense, that was more like nutrient dense without being calorie dense.
Mhm.
And I kind of feel like that's kind of part of the problem, is that the food at the time, especially in the 70s and the 80s, it was really, really bad. And in order to actually lose weight, you really kind of had to starve yourself because you couldn't eat much of the food that was available because it was so
Right.
calorie dense, so gross, you know?
Mhm.
Or you would just eat grapefruits all the time that, like lots of people were eating grapefruits.
Yeah,
um,
well, there was the grapefruit diet at that time too.
right. The grapefruit diet is
Yeah.
crazy. And like looking back, like I so yes, that made me aware of my weight, but at the same time, I I mean, for health and longevity, you don't really want your kids to be chubby either. They shouldn't be. Like they should have a they they should we need to teach kids, I guess, early on that it's about health and not the way that you look, and really kind of drive that in. Um like make healthy choices rather than try to lose weight. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know, but yeah, I so that was when I became really aware, and then I started developing breasts, and yeah. But before all that, my point of view was so much different.
Mm.
Like I just um like we've talked about I talk a lot about like objectification and self-objectification, but the minute you become so aware of your body and ashamed of it even, and at the same time sexualized, you suddenly become othered, or you become objectified. You become now seen instead of someone who is seeing.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I just, we talk about like how freeing like childhood is when you're just so full of wonder
Mhm.
and when you are and that wonder largely exists because you're not so full of yourself, if that makes sense. You're not performing for other people. You are just you in the world, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that
and
awareness, that age when you finally become aware. I just wanted to say that Fuking Fi was just asking about closed captions. I don't know if you have closed
Oh
captions.
gosh. Oh, I don't know how I have to do something with my oh, I'm so sorry. I couldn't do it while I was in Ohio, but I have to do something with the account to get closed captions going,
Oh, okay.
and, I'm wondering if I
Oh,
could do
thank
it.
you very much, Fuking Five. Says you're
Yeah.
so interesting, ladies. I want to listen to you again. Unfortunately, your
Oh,
vocabulary is too wide for me. Yeah, I
oh.
know you were saying that this is your second language, and um, oh, I didn't even think of it either because I don't see them when we're recording. I don't know that they're on or off. So, okay, okay. That's okay, that's okay. I mean, like, it's not something that, like, we had talked about even, so but thank you, King Five, for bringing that up to
Yeah.
us, because we definitely want because it's not even just for people of a second, as English as a second language, it's people with, hard of hearing
Right.
or just need those closed captioning so that they can actually have the volume off and read and still be present and
Yeah.
stuff. So we'll work on that for the next time. We apologize for it not being working this time.
Yeah, so I will, I'm I think that in the re-recording, like not the re-recording, I think
When you put it on,
when I
yeah,
put it back up, when it
yeah,
I can put captions on. I
okay,
think I can put
okay,
subtitles on.
okay,
Yeah.
excellent.
I'm so
Mhm.
sorry. I can't believe I feel so bad.
No, that's okay. Understandable. So
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 Meredith
going back,
says, oh,
what was she saying? Go ahead.
Meredith says the diet plate you could get in restaurants,
Oh
cottage
God.
cheese, a peach half, and some lettuce. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Mm.
Or you could get a hamburger. You could get like a ground beef. Do you remember that? Like that was a diet plate without the bun.
Yeah. Yeah. All these
Yeah.
different things. It's so silly. Oh gosh.
Yeah. And nowadays I
But
would eat the bun without the burger.
we'd do perfect together because I'd eat the burger without the bun.
Yeah, I
um,
know.
yeah, we could go to a restaurant and share a meal.
Yep.
Um, yeah, no, I think it's interesting, like when you're talking about, children's awareness and where our awareness began about our bodies and everything like that and eating and everything. Like I always wonder, Sam, and I've talked about this, it's like if I had never dieted, if I had never started down that diet path
Mhm.
years and years ago, like we're talking, 40 some years ago, if I would not have as many if I wouldn't have had more problems, if I would have had less problems with my weight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like I became so hyper focused on food that, like when you hyper focus on something, it just creates that problem over and over and over
Oh,
again. It's just like
yeah.
this self-fulfilling prophecy. And I always wonder, it's like if I never started dieting, if I would just be my best ideal weight and I could just
Mhm.
eat food when I was hungry, let it go when I wasn't, and just be really free and easy with my food. And not have that obsession about my weight and my body
Yeah.
and have poor body images and everything.
Yeah, it's
'Cause I think it's just like this slippery slope. You start
Mhm.
a diet and then your body is going, "Oh, this is weird. Okay, we'll adjust to this." And then you're like, "Oh, this diet isn't working," or "I give up." And then you go back to eating whatever. And then your body's like, "Oh, okay, we'll go over here." And then, and so then your body
Yeah.
is just like in this
The
state of
biome is
confusion.
your biome is always adjusting. I mean,
Yeah.
it just can't be good for your intestines. It can't be good for any of that. Your gut
No, and then the
health.
stress, you add that, and so that's,
Yeah.
like we know that our gut health is, affected so much by our emotions and
Mhm.
even sometimes more than what we eat.
Yeah.
Like if we're in a high stress, our adrenals are tapped out and our
Mhm.
cortisol levels are out of whack. And, it's just like you can eat a healthy diet and your body is still not able to absorb all the nutrients that it needs to
Yeah.
because, your chemistry is so off.
Mhm.
But
I remember
yeah.
when I was, probably around 12 or 13, I got really into, exercise and managing my weight and everything. I no, actually, it came a little later. It happened at 12, and then when I was in junior high, I was a latchkey kid, so I would come
Right.
home. This is where I developed my love for cooking, and it's how I kinda learned about creativity, but it was bad because I would come home, no one would be there. I would break out, like, the eggs, half a stick of butter,
Mm.
cheese,
It sounds
toast.
delicious.
Right, I like it, yeah.
Yes,
The
please.
just and we had, like, American cheese, but I would, like, take the whole, like, block of it and, like, throw it in the soup, and it would
Oh my.
basically be like cheese to me. And I gained a lot of weight, and I would just sit on the TV and, like, watch
Shock.
Oprah and, like, the Beverly Hills teenagers and all the soaps. Oh, I mean, and I gained a lot of I think I was probably, like, 5'8" and 140 pounds. It's, like, how heavy I got, which is not very heavy.
Not heavy for that height. No, I mean, that's not heavy. It doesn't matter. Weight is like, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
crazy, hey?
but I felt, and then after that, I went kind of extreme in the other way,
Right.
and then I started working out like crazy. I'd work out with my dad, and I'd go to the gym and work out a couple hours, like, every day. And then I counted my calories
Whoa,
constantly.
yeah.
Like, I was like, I need a 1,200 calorie day every day. I wanted to be like I was getting into, like, supermodels and always, like, just magazines and, like, I knew all the stats of, like I hope this isn't triggering to anybody, but, like, I knew exactly how much Paulina Porizkova weighed and, like, what her waist size was, and, like,
Oh,
everything about her
wow.
is just crazy, and
Yeah.
so I was, like, driven to craziness by it, and I probably wasn't eating 1,200 calories. I was probably eating 2,000 or something, but, my calculus. But lose I did become so thin that I lost my period,
Oh my
and
God.
yeah, and it was
Yeah. I mean, like, I think that our stories, like, are so common,
mhm,
like with women our age, and we're seeing it with younger women too. It's like, um, you go on these different cycles,
yeah,
like I never counted calories. That's too detailed for me.
yeah,
It was just like that's too much work. Like I just know what is heavy, like basically good food, bad food, right? Or how much I can eat of the good food and bad food. Like I can have a couple of
mhm,
chips, but I'm not going to eat a whole bowl of chips or a whole bag of chips. I'll just have a couple of
yeah,
chips, right? And so it wasn't calorie counting per se because I didn't know the numbers, but I did know what healthy and what or unhealthy food was, right?
yeah,
And I eat that way still. I'm very careful about the food that I eat. I don't
yeah,
just
me
eat
too.
anything, like
Yeah,
and I mean it's not it's not just about my weight, because it still is about my weight. I'm not going to lie. Like I've struggled with since we hit menopause. Since I hit menopause, I put on weight and nothing I have been anything that I could do in the past
Yeah.
is working. Nothing.
It's hard.
It's hard. And then it just, you go through that emotional cycle of this is depressing, and then you just give up
Yeah.
and you're trying so hard and you're just emotional and frustrated with the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the weight, but it is about knowing what my body needs to nourish it and taking
Mhm.
care of my body. And it's just another form of self-care for me. It's just like
Yeah.
I feel better mentally and emotionally when I know the food that I'm eating is supporting myself,
Yeah.
not working against it.
Yeah.
So, but it's been a long mental and emotional journey to get to a place where you can eat food without have an emotional attachment to it. That
Yeah.
took me forever.
Yeah. So, all y'all who yeah, all y'all who are
Oh,
leaving
yeah.
comments, we're going to actually address them a little later, when we get
We
back
just
to
don't want
our.
you to feel like we're
Yeah,
ignoring
we're
you.
not
Yeah.
ignoring you, but it's easy for us to concentrate and, if we just continue talking for a while about our topic.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so there's a there's a thing called orthorexia.
Okay.
But nutritionists, dietitianists, YouTubers, and influencers, like Abby Sharp. Do you know who Abby Sharp is? Okay. Um, they're constantly throwing out that like she's got orthorexia, and what it is, the definition is someone who's so particular about what they eat, not so much the quantity but the quality of the food. Like they are very picky
Mm,
about that. That that it kind of consumes them. That it's a little obsessive. I Given that I'm a whole food plant based eater,
mhm,
and I think there are many good reasons to do this. I think it's the healthiest diet, you know, especially, I mean, um, I don't understand why I think someone like Abby Sharp might call it orthorexic,
right.
because you're eliminating whole food groups,
Right.
you know, and I eliminate a lot of food groups.
Yeah.
it's not just, it's not just like animals and ultra processed food.
Right.
I mean, I'm not crazy about seed. I mean, I I don't demonize seed oils, but I'm also not really eating much oil,
Right.
these
Yeah.
days. And I try to not eat much sugar, and like I really try to keep things down, by limits.
Yeah.
And that is just healthy eating. I'm eating for longevity. I'm in this way that I eat, I don't have food noise. Like, I don't actually think about food all the time,
Mhm.
because I think this happens when you eat a whole food diet, because you have a normal appetite based off of real food
Mhm.
versus food that has been photoshopped to be more flavorful or more like it like
Mhm.
how you go on, well, like on Instagram, everybody, there's a lot of people who are like, they have surgeries, they have Photoshop, there's filters,
Yeah.
and they don't reflect reality, but they whet our appetite for more. We
Right. Yep.
want more, we want more. That's what happens with ultra processed food, I believe.
Mhm. Mhm.
They give you an ginormous appetite that is not real. Like, it's not.
I think part of it is that it's because it's not actually satisfying what your body is needing,
Right, right,
right?
yeah.
I mean, like, we eat very differently.
But
Um,
we're still whole food. We are both very much whole food eaters.
yes,
That
yes.
yeah,
I don't eat. I mean, my the processed food that we have are some organic corn chips,
yeah.
which are just corn. Like, you have nothing
Which
else but corn and a little bit of salt.
Yeah. No oil?
Um, oh, I guess, yeah, they're fried, so they have a little bit of oil. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, cheese? And that's not really. No, we don't eat processed food. We just don't. But we do eat meat,
Yeah.
and I do eat animal products, and I eat, like eggs and dairy, and I mean, I eat everything
Yeah.
except I do, like, just like you, I watch my sugar intake. I watch what kind of sugar I take in. Usually,
Mhm.
I only use maple syrup. I don't use anything else, just because I prefer the taste over honey. I like honey too, but
Yeah.
we end up just using maple syrup more. And I try and buy most, organic, grass
Mhm.
fed, like, so yeah, we both are very, we don't buy or use or consume processed foods. So yeah,
No.
so we are very both.
Yeah.
Although I do eat meat and I do eat animal products as differently you and I, but we both. Um, I mean, I keep gluten to a very minimum, very very
Yeah.
minimum. We
Me
have
too.
organic sourdough bread. That's the only bread that we have.
I'm pretty gluten-free, and most of my recipes are gluten-free unless I say
Mhm.
otherwise. Like, I will
Mhm.
say that it's not gluten-free, because I have an allergy to gluten. But,
Yeah.
I read somewhere that 70% of people have an allergy to gluten, and I'm wondering if I'm just amongst that, like, people have a mild allergy. I think my allergy is mild.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, but it is enough. I do get the inflammation, and I don't want inflammation. So,
Nobody wants inflammation.
nobody
I
wants
just heard
inflammation.
I just actually heard this morning that and I mean, I don't know how it is here in Canada, but I just heard this morning, this health professional was talking about, the wheat and the gluten in the States, and I've heard this before. This is that the wheat is different in different countries.
Right.
But in the States, they actually started doing genetically modified in the 60s. I didn't know
Mhm.
it was that early.
Mm.
So, and that has been part of the problem with a lot of people having gluten intolerance, is because of the GMO wheat. That it's
Yeah.
just not the way that wheat was initially, it's not close to
Yeah.
its original habit,
Right.
makeup, right?
Right.
So you go over to Europe and they don't have GMO wheat. A lot of
Mm.
people who have gluten intolerances can eat the wheat over in Europe.
So that's interesting because when I do eat gluten, it's einkorn, and einkorn is the ancient wheat. It actually has a different genome. It's
Right.
wheat, but it
Yeah.
has a different genome, and it doesn't have the same gluten structure
And it
as
doesn't bother you.
it not I it might a little bit, but not enough,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be making for, we're gonna at my Quaker meeting, they always advertise crumpets and tea, after the meeting, but
Right.
they actually never have crumpets.
Are you going to make some crumpets?
I'm gonna make some crumpets
I
because
love it.
Quaker is English. It's pretty English, It's like
Hmm.
it has its roots in the English Civil War, and I'm like, well, we have to have crumpets.
Of course, if you're going to say it.
Yeah, and in that case, I'll have the Miyoko's butter and
Yeah.
maybe some maple syrup or honey. I don't really have issues with
Yeah.
honey. I don't really. It's like I mean, there from a vegan standpoint, like if you go with a really if you're probably the honey that comes in the honey bears from the big honey corporations, they're probably taking honey away from the bees, taking their labor and everything away and
Hmm.
replacing it with sugar water.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
You know?
Or high glucose corn syrup. That's another thing that
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah,
put in honey. Yeah.
that's not good, um, but from a very local, place around here where they don't do that, I will definitely eat the honey.
Yeah.
And it's so
Yeah.
good for you, and it's good for the bees too. I mean, it's good.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
So I
oh,
think, I think the thing is that I think the most important thing, like we're talking about food and we're talking about body image and all of those kinds of things. I think the most important thing is like to first of all not label food, because food is what do they say? It's just like it
it's not
has
moral.
no, pardon?
It's not moral.
Exactly. It has
Yeah.
it has no morality. It's
Yeah.
food. It's
Yeah.
what you place on it, right?
Mhm.
And how you're ingesting it and how you're looking at it. But most important thing is how you're looking at yourself.
Yeah.
Like when you are joyful and loving and caring about yourself, it's just a natural thing to
Yeah.
be making choices that are going to support that self-love
Yeah.
and care and acceptance, you know?
I have some ideas. There's things that I do to help
Mhm.
me with this, to
Mhm.
help me develop body neutrality.
Right.
Because, that's kind of what we want. We don't want to really placing a value on our body, whether it's good or bad, is
Mhm.
like it's okay to kind of place a little bit of value. It's, if you're a
Mhm.
good athlete, that's a good thing.
Right.
But the athleticism is more the skill and the effort that you're doing, and but you don't want to place 100% of your value on
Absolutely
your
not.
body, or
Absolutely not.
50%. There's a lot of things that we are, and how we view the value of our body should kind of be in balance with all those other things.
Mhm.
Um, so that's kind of like body neutrality.
Mhm.
It's not like body positivity where you're kind of like faking body acceptance, or well, that body positivity really is kind of owned by the people who are, like in the fat movement. I'm not saying it right, but it's theirs. It's their word. It's their campaign. And like people like us shouldn't even really be using it. It's like not the hashtag we should be using,
Yeah.
because it's, yeah. But body neutrality. Um, so here are some things that I do. Uh, we're gonna have an episode later where we talk about social media management and how to do it responsibly. But one of the ways that I manage my body self-image is I manage my social media. Like, I
Mhm.
do
Mhm.
not follow people who trigger me. I do not
Mhm.
follow people who make me feel insecure. I do not scroll. So
Mhm.
if you're wondering why I'm not on it, if you follow me on Instagram and I'm not really saying anything to you ever, like in
Mhm.
on your posts, it's because I'm not scrolling.
Yeah.
I don't spend time on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
I just
I've definitely cut back on my time on there too. For sure.
yeah,
For sure. I'll go through stories and then
Instagram is you
chat
froze. Oh, sorry, you froze.
privately,
Okay. Yeah, right. And
but
if you see things you don't like, we keep freezing.
oh, do we? Oh, shoot.
Yeah, that's why I
Um,
keep talking over you. I'm sorry.
no, no, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, it's just like you just learn to, I mean, like it's not just learn to, you choose to protect your own mental health,
Yeah.
and your own well-being. And
Mhm.
that's like you were saying, it's just like I unfollow, I mute, I am very careful about what I watch and who I engage with and
Mhm.
what what I pay attention to, what I put my attention
Yeah,
to, because it's like it messes with your head, it messes with your heart, it
does.
messes with how you're seeing things, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way.
With the Silver Sister movement, a lot of our colleagues, because 'cause we're both part of the Silver Sister movement,
Hmm.
a lot of our
Yeah.
colleagues, I feel, got really into selling things and using, like, in a very aspirational way, like,
Yeah.
in a way that is probably not reality. or,
In some ways,
or
yeah.
they are getting surgeries that they're not really saying, or they are saying, they're not really divulging,
Mhm.
that they got
Mhm.
cosmetic surgeries, or they're not really eating, and then they're doing these hit exercises and saying this is how they have their body. So it's kind of like gaslighting, but they're really just
Yeah.
not eating or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just, that a lot of that was happening. So I kind of unfollowed a lot of people,
Yeah.
even though they were part of my kind of cohort, because it was making me feel bad about it was twisting my reality. I still wanted to support them, so I just kind of muted them and stuff.
Mhm. I know. Yeah. I
And
mean,
then
I did
there,
the same thing. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying, like, there's some people who I follow who, like, do you follow the Midlife Muse? Do you know who she is?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Authentic, so no.
Mhm.
But we're the ones managing it. We're
Mhm.
the one, so
Yeah.
we actually can change our own algorithm by telling it we're not interested in seeing it.
Mhm.
And we can
Exactly.
actually change the face of social media. We can change social media if we truly don't want to see that. If we
Yeah.
can really be intentional
Yeah.
about our wellness,
Yeah.
we can actually choose not to partake in that.
Exactly.
It's
And
not the
and and
Kardashians' fault. It's
and
our
the
fault.
thing exactly. And the thing is, it doesn't take having to, hold up a sign and go, "I disagree with this." It just
Yeah.
has, like it's as simple as going unfollow or
Mhm.
scroll.
Mhm. Yep.
Right? Like you don't have to make a major stand. And then speak your truth. Like
Yeah.
speak what's important to you. If you're not
Mhm.
seeing what you want to see on social media, if you're on there and you're not seeing what you want to see and you're disgusted by what's on there, put your own stuff up there. What you want to
Right.
see, put your stuff up there. If you're wanting
Yeah.
to see something, go ahead, say
Yep.
it. You
Yep.
know, and the people who align with you and agree with you and want to see it too will eventually find you.
And they kind of need you, like, we need each other.
Exactly. We need to be out there going, you know what? This stuff really is not
Yeah.
interesting to me. This is what's interesting to me, and I'm going to share
Mm.
it. Right?
Or it might be interesting, but it's not good for you. Like,
Yeah.
YouTube is really bad this way. It's so with YouTube, you're like, "I don't wanna see that. I don't wanna see that." And YouTube can, I think, measures how fast you scroll past something, and YouTube's like, "Nope, I saw you looking there. I know you say you're not interested in this, but I'm going to keep sending it to you because I know this is what you want." Like,
Well,
it's
they have those 3 little the little hamburger, like, the 3 little dots, and you click on that and say, "I don't wanna see this." Because
that works
I
with
was
Instagram. It
oh,
doesn't work
that
with YouTube that well.
Because okay, because I do it with Instagram. Because
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, no, I do it with YouTube. Because YouTube sends me because I was watching a lot of, um, deconstruction, cult, and
Mhm.
stuff like that. They're like, "Oh, you like religious stuff?"
I got that too.
And they're sending me all of these like, Bible study stuff and all these
Yeah.
sermons and I'm just like, "No.
Oh my
No,
god.
stop sending that."
Do you
Because it
get
was
that,
like,
like, I get that, like, this Jesus guy who comes on is like, "Would you like to speak with Jesus every day?" I got a nap. I'm like, "No. I don't want a Jesus app."
I don't want a Jesus app. No, I've got like mine's all mediums and channels and near death experience and cult stuff, and that's what comes through
Yeah.
mine all the time. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
just all I get on YouTube right now. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Mine's
But
mostly food, but, and longevity stuff, and
oh, that's cool.
yeah, but then there was, like, that one time I stopped to watch someone extracting pimples.
Oh God.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Too
okay.
much.
No, no, no,
TMI.
no, 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 no. I've
Can't
actually
turn away from it.
I know, and then you're just like you're hooked. You're just like,
Hooked.
what is going to happen here? I've only seen a couple of them, and it's so funny because I was thinking about them the other night when I was in bed, and it's just like that. It's kind of this morbid curiosity.
It's awful because you can feel it. You can feel it. Yeah.
Oh,
Pimples.
it is.
Yes,
It's
we're talking
horrible.
about pimples.
Yes, pimples. Yes.
Yeah, but we are not gonna talk about pimples much
No, we're
longer.
gonna not gonna talk about that anymore because we're
So another thing that I do in to kinda help with body neutrality is that
hmm
before I go to bed at night, I, like, get naked and well, you don't have to get naked. Like, you don't have to do this naked. You can I shimmy, like, I don't really do this, like, totally naked. Like, get that image out of your head. But
okay,
but I whenever I, like I don't know, I just it's like a belly dancing thing.
right? You move your body.
I, like, rate my body for how it is and appreciate like, fat is fun. Like, you can actually it feels good, it shimmies, like, you just kinda change your mindset about it.
hmm
Yeah, I know that's kinda weird.
No,
But, like,
I don't think it's weird. I think it's
belly
absolutely beautiful. Like, I
yeah.
mean, I, I'm like the funny. Okay.
It feels
Blah blah
good.
blah blah.
I'm not gonna, like, shimmy crazy, like, it's almost my stimming, but
Right. But no, I mean, it's just like I look, sorry, I know that this really makes noises when I keep hitting this.
you're fine.
I need to get a better microphone. I will.
I'm gonna
Um,
work on the headset thing
I
too.
know, same,
Yeah,
right? This is just
yeah,
the best I've got right now. And we're moving again, so who knows what's happened. But
yeah.
I think about, you doing the shimmy and I'm just like, oh, that is so Stevie. I love that. That's so you. Like what I'm doing is I started doing yoga a
Oh,
number of
that's
weeks
so
ago.
good. Yeah.
And I've got this really simple little routine that I do. And I started only doing it a couple of times, and then I worked my way up to doing it 6 times. So the
Mhm.
whole the whole thing, I do it 6 times over. And while I'm doing it, because you can like the thing with yoga is that you're experiencing the changes and how you're really feeling what your body can do and how
Yeah.
it's growing and stretching and changing in its movement, not in its shape,
Mhm.
but in its movement. That's all. Because I don't have a
Yeah.
mirror up, I don't see myself. I'm just on my mat in my bedroom. But when I am going from, I don't even know what they're called, but a downward dog, and then I'm taking my right foot, and I'm bringing it up to my hand. And
Mhm.
every time I get closer to my hand, I'm like, "Yay, Leanne!"
Yeah.
And
It
I'm cheering myself on and just recognizing it's like, oh, I'm a deeper stretch now. Oh, I can
yeah.
squat
That's so
and
good.
like right with my butt down to the ground and hold myself up. Right. And I'm
Whoa.
not falling over. And I mean, I'm
Yeah,
still tipped
that's
forward a
amazing.
little bit, but I'm
Yeah.
able to do this. And it's like, and my goals are to be able to sit right up in a full squat and then stand up without using my hand, like, and I just stand up without using my hands. And so every little bit that I'm doing, that's where
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing for my body acceptance and neutrality, right? It's just like
Yeah.
encouraging
It's
the changes and the strengthening that I'm doing.
it's so embodying too. Like it puts you in your body. It's like the opposite of objectification or
Yeah.
self-objectification. Because you're not like you're just I mean, you y- you're just thinking about how your body works together and like you're just in your body.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
you
what to
are. I
say.
mean, and you have to be because you can't like when I'm doing my yoga poses and I'm going through this whole routine, I have
Yeah.
to stay present,
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
you're moving your body in ways that aren't necessarily natural.
Yeah,
They're not
right.
movements that you can just turn your brain off on like you're walking or, you're washing your hair or something,
Yeah,
right? Like you're moving your
right.
body in ways that you And then you're just the awareness of going deeper and going longer and holding longer and being able to, not shake when you're doing something and,
Yeah.
like it's
I
just
need to do that. I need to do that so bad because, I've been walking. That's what I
mhm.
basically do. I try to get 10,000 steps a day and I go around the yard, but I'm feeling a tightness in my hips. It's like I'm just and the walking is actually exacerbating that a little bit, and I really
Yeah,
need to get into
doing some more stretching.
doing stretching and just being kind and allowing my body to grow in that kind of way.
Yeah.
My sister has problems with her hips now, although she was doing yoga, but
And I'll be
and
honest, my hips bother me like I have, but I sit a lot. Like I am a
yeah.
sitter. I sit. So that's why my hip flexors and my hips are really bad because of all the
Mm.
sitting that I do.
I do when I do sit a lot, like the drive hanging out in Ohio, driving to Ohio, my legs were hurting so bad because I do walk a lot, I get up
Yeah.
and walk around. And I've been doing more of it. So now it's hard to sit, like,
Yeah.
for very long. Oh,
See, and I see you're going, I need to be more gentle and I need to be doing those things with myself. And I'm thinking, I need to be getting into those 10,000 steps. And that's just that terminology. I
yeah,
need to be doing this. It's
right.
so defeating because all you're doing is shaming yourself,
I know.
right?
I
Or I
shouldn't have said
should be
that.
doing that. Or, I mean, I'm saying it too, right?
Yeah,
And
but the problem is that I really should be, though. That's
right,
kind
but the thing
of
is that if you change the terminology, because words are
Yeah,
powerful and they create, we know that, right? And you say,
froze. She froze.
I want to be caring for my body in this way, right? And
Yeah.
if you just start changing that mentality and then start visualizing yourself doing it, right?
Mhm.
And finding the space and the time to do it, then you you end
Yeah.
up doing it more, and so
So
I guess I'm trying to be kinder to myself with the shooting with the walking, but anyways,
I
go on.
think I will do yoga this week. I think if I feel like it, I will do it. I will.
I
I'll do a
will.
couple stretches. You know what? I'll do the sun salutation when I get up early in the morning, like I'm doing.
Exactly. And you do some
Yeah,
kind of simple, you just implement
yeah,
that simple thing. Like for me, I'm not doing walking yet, but I'm doing a lot more, like I'm doing movement and exercise while I'm
yeah,
standing, like while I'm brushing my
yeah.
teeth,
That's
while I'm
good.
cooking, while I'm washing dishes, I'll get up when we're watching TV in the evening and I'll stand in behind the sofa and I'll do some, leg lifts and different things. So, just
Yeah,
trying to get more movement in.
yeah. So it's like 4. So we're gonna be talking about body image, wellness, fitness, and things like that over the couple episodes, and we're gonna be doing it guided imagery too, but not
Mhm.
this episode. Next
Mhm.
Thursday at 3 p.m. We'll have the subtitles there too. I will make sure we have that, and I'll try to get it on this video. Um, yeah, so we'll kind of move the topic along, but we'll still be in the same topic
Yeah,
next Thursday.
I think it's
Do you
great.
wanna go into a chat session
Sure, we can do
with so
that.
we can talk to everybody?
Meredith was saying I was big into yoga in the mid to late 1990s and beyond. I loved it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, that's when it really started getting a lot more airtime, right? Like it was,
Mhm.
I learned more about yoga back in that time.
Yeah, it
The
was
funny
still
thing
kind
is,
of
in the Christian
Oh,
world,
really?
it's bad.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
know. But was
My
it
my
bad back then?
sister-in-law my sister-in-law messaged me when I was promoting yoga. She says, "You really are leading people astray, and can't you call it like something like Christian stretching?"
That would be appropriation.
And the thing is it's like it's not stretching. It's not Christian. It's not
Yeah.
like anyways, I'm just like, "Oh, silly you."
Yeah, that's so funny. So Booking 5, where are you from?
Yeah, where
Did
are
you
you?
just out of curiosity?
I was
So
in much
Meredith
better
says
shape in my
she's trying to be conscious about getting up at least once an hour to move around. That is
It's such a
really
and that is something
important.
I'm trying to do more too, Meredith.
Yeah,
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 you're so right. It's just like because it's so easy to just sit. And I'm like, watching YouTubes and because I'm learning channeling and I'm learning
yeah.
mediumship and I'm learning about the Akashic records. And so it's just easy for me to just go through YouTubes or just
So you know what you can
Uzbekistan.
do? Oh,
Oh, well,
cool. How
so wonderful to have you here, way
yeah,
over
so
from way over
wonderful.
there. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. I have so one thing you can do if you wanna walk more, you can, like, podcast your YouTube videos. So just put
Yeah.
headphones on and then just you can walk around your house, or you could just
Not really. It's
you can walk around your yard.
I do. I go out and I earth every day.
Yeah,
I get my feet in the bare ground every day, which I love. But I mean, like we're in such a gorgeous, like we're a block and a half from the beach, from the
yeah.
ocean, not the beach, but from the ocean, and we
She
have a
lives in
walkway.
Canada, yeah, in British Columbia, by the way. We're in different
Yeah, I'm
countries.
yeah, we're in different countries. She's more on the eastern side of the United States, right?
Yeah,
And I'm right on the west coast of Canada, like right on
oops.
the west coast of Canada. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any excuse to not get out walking, but I don't like being alone. I like walking with somebody. I like the entertainment. I like, I love being alone at home. I don't like being alone out there. Not unsafe. It's very safe here. It makes me feel seen and conspicuous. Like I just feel I like not I don't like being seen. Right. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like, you're fully yourself. When you
100%.
go
Yeah.
out when you go out and you see someone, you're just maybe you're not maybe you're just daydreaming
Yep.
and it's psychically violent in a sort of way, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Because you're
Yeah.
like, it's just that is 100% how it is. Right. And so, like,
Mhm.
because I'm so used to spending so much time alone and being at home by myself and not having that kind of, you know, I think the more you're out there, the more you become, I don't know, comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well,
it's just like, I feel like,
people
I- it's something like,
out.
yeah, I'm I'm that way when I'm with somebody. I
Mhm.
can just be totally focused on just the two of us and not even notice anything around us. Like as soon as I'm with
Mhm.
Sam, the entire world disappears. I will
Yeah.
walk into telephone poles because I am not aware at all. As
Oh,
long as I have Sam.
that's because he provides containment for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like
And it's the
that
same and so that's the same thing with friends. If I'm with a friend,
mhm.
then
Yeah,
I'm fine. But as soon as I'm alone, then all of a sudden it's just like I am aware of everything and
right.
everyone and there's this like constant ed- editorial going on in my head about how I'm being
Mhm.
perceived and how am my face looking and how am I walking and am I tripping, am I walking okay, what are
Oh,
they seeing, what am I seeing, and oh, there's this over there, like
yeah.
it's just like
That's a lot of stimuli.
it's
Yeah.
exhausting. And so
Gosh.
so just yeah, so going out by myself is just
Yeah.
exhausting. I don't do
Yeah.
well. Yeah. So maybe I need to be medicated. I don't
No, I mean, I don't
I
know.
just
I always have my dog, so I'm actually never by myself.
Yeah, and that makes it I know that
Yeah.
even that helps, like
Yeah.
I was taking my friend's dogs for a walk a bit and
Sorry.
for a number of times, and when I'm with them, I'm just talking to them and I'm not paying attention to anybody else around
Yeah,
too,
right.
So
So Meredith says, I don't feel comfortable walking alone because I use my walker and you look like a target. Bob walks with me. That
oh,
that's unfortunate that we live
yeah.
in a society where you would feel like a target. So um Michael made a walking stick for his mom and he made the bottom with a spike so that if she were
She's just
accosted.
like
Yeah.
maybe you need to have those pop-ups at the bottom or like
Yeah,
out the front of right of, out of the front of your walker. It's just like
maybe you need to
bing,
weaponize your walker.
weaponize your walker.
Yeah. Put cameras
Yeah.
in it, put, like, all kinds of things. Yeah.
I'm sorry that you feel that
Mm.
way, Meredith.
Yeah,
That that that's
it's
not good,
not
and I can
cool.
understand that's not cool, and I totally, you know, get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you're saying that I'm living in your dream place. I know that you've been here to the island because we talked about you going to Bouchard Gardens in Victoria, and come to the island, Meredith.
I wanna come to the island. We all gotta go. Oh my
Y'all need to
gosh.
come to the island. It really
Yeah.
is all that. It really is beautiful. Thank you,
I
Vuking.
was
Yes, Canada is one of the best places for life. It's a very good place for life. I agree.
So I'm not exactly I should look it up. I'm not exactly sure where Uzbekistan is. Is it like south of Russia
Uzbekistan, I don't know either,
near Caucasus
actually.
in the Caucasus Mountains?
You're doing much better with geography than I am. I was thinking Uzbekistan. Now, I'm wondering if my friend actually taught English over there. She
Oh,
was in the United Emirates,
mhm. It's
Central
Central
Asia.
Asia.
Okay, so
Okay.
she was in the United Emirates and she was teaching in I think she was in Dubai for a bit. And then I think that she actually was in Uzbekistan. I think is that are they close? Like Dubai?
I
Is
mean,
it in the I don't know. I'm terrible with geography. I really
so
am.
isn't part of Russia in Central Asia too? It's terrible. I'm gonna look it up.
I don't know.
I need to look it up. I'm all into, like, Russia and stuff. I'm like that's my other YouTube thing. I love, like, watching Russian, YouTubers like Ellie in Russia, and I also she's a travel blogger, and she goes all over Russia. She actually goes all over the world, but she goes all over Russia. Like, Russia is huge, and there's so many off the beaten places. She goes to, like, Kazakhstan and, Kamchatka, not Kazakh, Kamchatka, which is, like, almost to your house. I'm just kidding. No, not quite, but it's like Kamchatka is
Comes way
the
over
it's
into the
very eastern Russia. It's not really close to the United States, but it is across from it's not near the Bering Strait, it's below the Bering Strait,
right.
but yeah, but, like, I'm so into that. I'm so into, like, Sval
You just froze. It's crazy. Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. It has zero appeal to me. I lived in that weather. It was like, no. Oh, wow. Oh, smile freeze. Yeah, she keeps
Hit
you're jumpy, like the
oh,
video quality has
I'm
gone way down.
I'm
She goes
wondering
in
if
and
it
out.
attached to my, no? So, one of the reasons why sometimes oh, smile face. One of the reasons why that happens is because it connects to my headphones. I have to remember that to detach them.
Oh, okay. Is that
Yeah,
with her
but it's
Bluetooth or
good.
something?
Yeah, yeah, it just swaps over to my headphones. It's just
Right.
or it goes to whatever Bluetooth device. Yeah.
Well, we're at like an hour and 16 minutes now. So
Okay, yeah.
I'm
Well,
just
okay, so next week we're gonna be continuing this conversation, and I think we're gonna talk more about ways to kinda help help us find the right balance, be like, where we're fi where we are working on our fitness and nutrition for healthy aging while letting a little vanity in, but not allowing it to take over completely. Like, how do we do that? Right?
yeah, I
Does
mean,
that
like
sound like
I think yeah, I think that's fantastic. That's it's the question that everybody has is like, how do I take
Yeah,
care of myself without becoming obsessed in any one particular area and
right.
live a healthy, you know, life with a good perspective on myself and others.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm actually there because I'm really sure that Abby Sharp would call me an orthorexic, but but we're just real people.
Exactly. And it's just like, who's to say where, and is there an actual destination? You know, like,
Yeah,
do we actually arrive anywhere? So,
right. But
anyways,
people who are making money off of us are gonna tell us that there's destinations, but,
but the
yeah,
joke is on them because they're really not making
yeah,
any money off of us.
yeah. No, no, yeah.
We're the ones they're
We're
definitely not making money off of.
yeah, we're talking about wellness and all these things, but we're actually not selling anything to you. If
No,
anything,
no,
we're what do you call it? De-influencers.
we're de-influencers. Oh,
Who
who was
said
that
this
woof?
woof?
Who
Oh,
said
that
this
was my
woof?
he's so cute.
That's so cute.
Um, come here. Come here, Lila.
She has her dogs are gorgeous.
Here.
Like
Come here, Lila. Come here.
we've watched them grow
This
up,
is
haven't we,
Lila.
Meredith?
Come here. Yeah, this is Miss
We've watched them
Lila.
since they were little cute, adorable puppies.
I
And now
have
they're
two, but
stunning adults.
yeah. Yeah. Lila got bit at the eclipse party, so she's recovering from a
Oh,
dog bite. She always gets it. She's a sweet girl, though. It's never her fault. People are like, "Oh, well, did she just get a little?" I'm like, "She did nothing. She was just running."
exactly. She was
And
being a
and I'll
dog. She was enjoying her
she's
life,
being a
living her best
dog.
life, and somebody come up and bit her.
Yes. Some Australian shepherd decided that she was a sheep.
Oh, because she looks so much like one.
Right. Yeah. And given that she doesn't have thick fleece,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways.
So
Okay, so
she's
we'll pick this
recovering.
up next week.
Yeah.
This has been fun. I look forward to our
Always fun.
Thursdays together
Me
and then all
too.
of our chatting in between.
Yeah, I know. We chat a lot. Chat with Meredith too.
Yeah, I know. It's been good.
Yeah,
I just
Australian
wanted
Shepherd. Yeah.
yeah, an Australian Shepherd. Yeah, it's like a sheepdog. They're smaller. They're like a medium-sized dog, and they're kind of often will have spots. And
Yeah. Blue
and
eyes.
they're smart dogs. They are
Very
freaking
smart.
smart dogs, hardworking dogs. They're dogs
Yeah.
that need a lot of work. They
Mhm.
they're not always a great social dog.
Yeah,
They're a working dog and they need to be worked.
this was a dog party that was not very social, and finally, Lila, like, just they all decided to run after the ball together, and that didn't work.
No.
That was too much.
Yeah. Too much, too
Um,
much. So, yeah.
all right.
Yay! It's been really good. And if anybody who isn't already following, thank you everybody who is following, but who
Yeah.
hasn't started following me
Oh,
over on
yeah.
my channel. I haven't been doing anything over there yet, but it will come. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. And we're going to start doing lives over there too as soon as I get enough
Yeah.
subscribers.
She
And
needs 50 subscribers.
I
So
know,
if
and
you can, I will put the link in the show in the description when I have this video up again,
yeah,
and
and
you'll be
I
able to follow
will,
her.
and I'll be getting some videos up eventually. But right now, I'm still focused in on learning my Akashic records, and I've got some sessions booked, which I'm really excited
Oh,
to
I
be
know.
practicing
That's
on
so
other
amazing.
people. It's awesome. I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyways. And
Yeah.
but this has been fun.
Yeah, so much fun. And so good to have you here, Vuking. The best English course for last time. Okay, we'll try really hard to enunciate
Yes,
too.
we'll try and slow
Aw,
down. Oh, I'm subscribed.
thank
Thank you so
you.
much, Vuking. That's
Thank you.
awesome. That's so lovely. Thank you, Meredith, for being here, and everybody
Yes.
else who watches later.
Bye.
Bye.